What's up, guys? I'm just me again. You know what? I don't want to do this. I keep looking at it. Oh my god. Wonder how long this trash can's been full. Anyway. Just a little continuation of that first video I made, I guess. I'm planning on... Well, first I gotta dump all this piss out. I wish I had a toilet. I guess I'll have to make one. Anyway, it's a heck of a mess. It's a heap. If you can believe it, I made this all by myself. Everything. There was nothing here. Not a thing. Well, I inherited things from when my dad died, like this forklift and that van, but these pillows I could easily throw away. These were in this Jeep. Another one. I don't know. Huh, that's weird. Oh yeah, this is the other one. Okay, never mind. It's like, how did it get over here? That's the old one. Anyway, everything got dirty and stuff, so yeah. When I pulled the axle out of this, I used the pillows for putting my knees on, so I could unbolt things and stuff. I got a whole bunch of things here, and a lot of it was my dad's stuff. Things that I'm probably not going to fix or use. But I think I'll start putting it on the marketplace, on Facebook or something. Because I don't really think I'm going to be using any of it anymore. It was all, kid dreams. Playing with things like this. My dad and me, when we were out in the yard, A lot of emotional ties here. Not that that's dragging me down too much. It's other stuff that I've had later on in life that dragged me down for too long. This is a jack we used to use. And the bolt on one side stripped out. That was that. So many junk cars that thing lifted up before we had the forklift. Doing scrap metal with my dad was the best time of my life, other than having my kids. And a good part of the marriage I had with my ex-wife was good, but yeah, having them kids, and the little ones, and they're cute and all that, there's an experience you never forget. That's just all bags of, mostly turd, but I could dig and bury it, but using these bags I can go inside and have privacy, And not that there ain't none out here, but, I've always been a little bit private about my privates. Yep. My goodness. Even those made it over here from over there. Parts to a swamp cooler that I never used. Where is it anyway? I don't know. I'll probably run across it here somewhere. Where did it go? Yeah, it's someplace. I built this little snowblower thing here years ago. I used it a little bit, but it was just too heavy. Big engine on there. Yeah, inspirations like this come from what my dad liked to do. That there come from another old property that was abandoned, and friend of mine got permission to get stuff, and that was one of the things he didn't want. I have never done anything with it, but I think it ran. I don't know. Yeah, I won't be using it. This tank's probably too old to be safe to use. I'm not sure. It'd have to be inspected. The old tire machine, it's got some issues. I'm just gonna crush. There we go. Get that out of the way so I won't crush it. Here it was starting to crack and got welded, and it's starting to crack again. So, yep. Not sure if it'd be really good for much more use without having this fixed properly. I don't have a working welder. Welding's an art that is very hard to understand, and so yeah, I kind of can do it. In other words, I don't think I'll be welding it. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I'm planning on putting all of these things that are like junk or unusable. Well, they're usable to me, but I gotta get past that frame of mind. Unusable is what I'm gonna call them, into one pile. And then all the things that are usable into another pile. And the trash into one more pile. Simplify it the most I can, and then get rid of the unusables and trash and have just a little bit of usables left here. So if I want to leave or go, it'll be quick and easy. Of course, I could just leave it all here too. There's that option. Then someday somebody, if I didn't still own it, would buy it, and say, oh, look at all the stuff here, cool. I wanted to be one of those types that like to leave things behind. And I'll tell you what, I did it last time I left my life, which was up in Layton, Utah, not here in Burl. I just left everything behind except for like 2 boxes of stuff I took with me. That was all. Oh yeah, and the computer. Yep. Some firewood that was given to me by my old Wendell. He's the one that owns this property before. Nice guy. He thought I was going to get a fireplace going, but I've chopped it up a little bits by bits and used it in my little fire can in emergency situations or for barbecuing. So it's been nice to have. Been good investment. Here was a parabola type of heater I've used before to heat my black water heater tank, and if I really want to, I could probably use it now, but I'd rather go to the truck stop for the shower. It's just more convenient. Getting a shower here is difficult, and right now that thing's a block of ice in the middle of it, so it's not. It might be thawed out a little bit more right now. It's been warmer the last few days. Let's go see. Yeah, I know there's a lot of other interesting stuff, I know. But I'm too curious. Yeah, not much water in there. Not very much at all. It's less frozen down here. I'd use that up in a hurry. So I'd rather keep it what's in there if I need it for emergencies. I don't use a whole lot of water anyway. So I gotta run some WD-40 over this again. Someday you'll be in a shed, buddy. Someday. Yeah, all this stuff is things that were from various junk places. What am I doing with it? I don't know. I like having it, I guess. Yeah, I don't need it though. I especially don't need that stupid thing, which was one of them satellite deals. And the old heater. Air duct I'll never do anything with. Yeah. Funny how I hadn't looked at my life with the aspects that I have in the last 2 weeks for probably over 10 years. I kind of just let things slide. Why? Well, that conversation's for another lifetime, maybe. I don't know. It's things that happened 10 years ago that weren't the best time of my life. That's all I'm going to say. You know, the old ex and me had it fallen apart, and I had it fallen apart inside of me. And I tell you, I got myself put back together finally from childhood traumas. Yikes, all of a sudden no more trauma. Yeah. And ever since that day, things were tough. Yeah. Well, sometimes you gotta be tougher than tough. I'm to the point I'm ready to be tougher than tougher ever was. Or than tougher, or whatever you want to call it, difficulty ever was. I even got a bed frame to make a bed with, if I want one, inside. Which the cats have taken over this back area here. There's no other places to sleep anywhere else. And so I got a chair that leans back, and 2 pillows I put on it, and a makeshift ottoman to put my feet on. And it gets me by. I'm really tired of that. I haven't slept in a normal bed for at least 36 months. But, yeah. Oh my, oh my. Yeah, this whole unbridled situation here, if you want to look at it that way, I think it's happening this way for a reason. I don't think I'm meant to be here forever, like I thought I was. Just keep getting that strange sensation. It's not strange, it's familiar in a way, like my intuition's calling me away from here for some reason. I don't know where yet. I never really know. I just hope it can include my cats. But if not, I don't know if it's something where I'm traveling the world. I don't know. You never know with what comes next certain times with the spiritual upbringing. I'm going to call it upbringing because it's just like growing like a baby from an infant to a teenager, upbringing. It's a whole nother upbringing in life. But you never know where it's going to take you sometimes when things start shifting. I didn't know I was going to end up here when the shifts began for my life, changes. It wasn't all my dad, he was good to me. It was just a sense of adventure I had. But also my dad, I think he's tired of me being around at home, and he wanted me to get out and do something with my life, so that's what I did. Because we weren't doing scrap together really anymore. His health was going downhill, and my mental status was not good because of what I was going through. So getting away and starting new with what little bit of I had was all I needed to do. Looks like more cans have blown around again. I gotta get them all out here as well. Here. There's something over there too. What the heck? What is that? Where did it come from? Huh. I don't know. It's not mine. There's a wrench over here too. That's weird. Do 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 do. I don't know where this came from, but it's probably no good. Wasn't there before. I don't know. Just strange. Maybe I just hadn't looked over there for a long time and dropped it or something one day. And that other piece of junk might have come in with water flooding one time or another years ago. So that's how life goes. Things flow in and things flow out. When they're meant to, or if they are meant to, some things stay. Not sure what I'm going to do with this. Transmission's no good. Yeah, the van has got a bad drive line. Other than that, unless the mice have chewed it up, it's just a gas guzzler. Gulp, 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 gulp. That's why I never drove it, really. I think I drove it 100 miles or so. 150 miles. And decided it was too expensive. These are my old solar batteries. They were $175 each. And I got 6 years of use out of them, so I think I did all right. Some of them were newer because they were replacements, but they didn't do well due to the fact that one or two in the pack was too deteriorated already to really serve as a one to not draw them down. You know, it didn't serve; it just drawed them down, drawed every other battery down. And I didn't realize how much damage it did to the rest that were good. It ruined them all. So I got a bunch of these kind of same mount, 6. I'll show you this one. I bought an extra. Yeah, and I took, same way. I just took my connections and put them on the batteries. They're iron phosphate. These were cheapy ones. I wouldn't give it 2 cents worth of confidence for more than 50 amps. But it's not a bad battery. You know, it gives you 1,000 watts like it's supposed to. I just run the electric cooler with it, which it does fine, as long as I have enough sunlight. If not, the battery lasts about 3 days with the cooler, and then that's it. But I have battery chargers and more solar power going to the batteries in there than will come from these two to this one by itself. So, given a bad day, I can hook the battery charger up and run the cord in there into the power inverter. And then with these and that, gives it about 12 amps, I think. That's more than enough to keep it going. And it draws them down inside a little bit, yeah. But as long as I'm not running 10 stereos or something, the batteries last all night long. It's on the days when I try to use too much power that they'll go dead at night. which is never fun. Yeah. Boy, really got a lot of paper stuff around here that I could burn in a little fire can. But it's full of ashes halfway. Always something that needs to be done. That's an old solar panel that don't work no more. A couple more over there using them like skirting, you know. They don't work anymore. This door has always been there just as a shield for the tarp that's behind it. Because, yeah, there ain't no trailers like this just around anywhere to get a door off of. Yeah, there was no back door, but I did make one for the back. Time I was going to do the front. I don't know why. I guess I was going through the motions anyway. And a friend of mine died. Someone was real special to me. About 10 years younger than I am. I don't know. Or so. She was like a spiritual friend that you never thought you'd have. But she wasn't quite into the awakening stage of her life and never got there. She had a drug overdose, unfortunately. Yeah. So I got all depressed about that. Never even cared about the door after that. Yeah. That was a while ago. About 3-4 years ago. Or so. I don't know, probably longer than that. I just get time jumbled up in this jumbly memory of mine. But yeah, I digress. It's time for me to decide where I'm going to start here. Yummy. You guys have a good one. I'll keep you posted. Talk to you later.